welcome into the...
Good. Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm so touched
it is
right
Laurie.
now.
It's Laurie's birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Loz. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get the rights to the Happy Birthday song. I don't know if people know that, but you know the classic Happy Birthday song you sing?
Yes.
You have to get the rights to that.
Yes.
So we can't sing that.
Yeah, I know. Commercial rights are a real issue.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's actually quite expensive to get that song. If you see it in a movie or TV show, they paid for it. That's why you'll see a lot of TV shows, they do some weird sort of like, happy birthday. But we've also promised people we wouldn't sing.
Yeah.
So you get this, and you get a congratulations.
Thank you.
You brought back Bears football.
Yeah, thank you. Yay.
Oh, I'm sorry, bud. If you're just joining us for the first time, you don't know, Laurie is a massive Cowboys fan, so it's been a rough birthday.
Have we started the show yet?
Yeah, this is what happens when Jimmy starts the show. This won't be a regular thing, don't worry. This is just a one-off. Because Laurie couldn't start and gone, hey, guys, it's my birthday.
That I couldn't.
Big saddo.
Well, welcome to NFL Afters, brought to you by PointsBet. Jimmy, week 3 happened.
Yeah.
And a lot happened. We had big man touchdowns. We had field goal blocks. We had defensive touchdowns. We had pick sixes. We had kickers seemingly unable to scale the height of the challenging line of scrimmage. And we had, in my opinion, a changing of the guard at the top of the quarterback tree. Not in your simple, I'm going to power rank my quarterbacks 1 through 10. I'm purposely going to leave out Dak Prescott to get clicks.
Well, the NRL finals run, we should compare halfbacks to quarterbacks.
Anyone? Okay.
Who's saying that Cleary? I think it's Justin Herbert. Anyway, continue.
So we've got a new top 5. We have a new top 5 of quarterbacks you don't want to see driving at you late. The guy you don't want to see on the opposite line of scrimmage, on the opposite sideline when it's close or they're trailing, and they're going to drive this thing down and take the game away from you. Josh Allen at the front. Okay, no big surprises there. Justin Herbert, I think, is roared into there, which it might be a shock to some because of how his postseasons have gone in the past, and he's been accused of being a numbers and style guy over bona fide wins and losses, right? Postseason success. But the way he's playing, that play
the
today,
Madison Beer effect.
The Madison Beer effect. What he did on that touchdown pass to Keenan Allen, getting out of contact, scrambling around, and putting an absolute dot down.
There's not many that could make that pass.
We are going to talk about certain teams, certain football entities, units that are breathing life into opposition. Someone who's breathing life into one of his teammates, and Keenan Allen is Justin Herbert, because Keenan Allen is out there looking like he's 6 years younger than yesterday.
And he's still a free agent on a bunch of like fantasy things. People they don't trust him.
They don't want to believe.
Like he's still there.
They don't want to believe.
I can't do this again.
It's safe out there. You can believe in Keenan Allen, and you can believe in Justin Herbert. The other two in there, Baker Mayfield. I'm convinced what happened in that Bucs-Jets game, where the Bucs were up by 1,000, and then all of a sudden you get wonky special teams plays, defensive plays, and it comes roaring back to the point where now all of a sudden the Bucs, who were up by 1,000, as mentioned, are now trailing. You cut immediately. Camera finds Baker Mayfield on the sideline. He's already in that pose. Last week it was the deep, almost meditative state. This week it was just a focused profile shot, and he can take a good profile shot. Yeah. Baker Mayfield, handsome man. I'm not going to use a word that the younger kids use, but there's an unquestionable charisma when it comes to
he's an alpha. I can't remember, what is it?
They'd say aura
farming.
Please go to his ISO for that. Oh my god, cool.
Wait, so you've given me 4?
I've given you 3.
Okay,
your man Jalen Hurts, who will lull the Jalen haters into a false sense of security by having 14 yards on 50% completion through a half.
I've got it here in front of me. My Birds, go Birds, had -1 net passing yards in the first half. Then my boy Hurts, he gets rocked by Jared Verse. And I'm like, no, leave him alone. Leave Brindy alone.
Leave him alone. Who's going to come up with cliche quotes in postgame?
And he ends up with 226 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Felt like all of them were AJ Brown.
He's back.
AJ Brown woke up.
Yeah.
So Jalen Hurts, it doesn't matter what it looks like at halftime.
17 games in a row he's won. And it must be hard to be a Jalen hater.
One of the many reasons it's a tough life.
You picked me for this podcast.
I know. We know where it started. You can't walk into a Super Bowl after party for the Philadelphia Eagles, meet a potential future co-host, and then be upset with where you find yourself. But Hurts, it's
Roll Tide, go Birds.
He doesn't blink in those spots. He well and truly. He hasn't been off to a statistically marvelous start to this season.
But 3-0, baby.
3-0. And in those late games, you felt that when the Rams left the door open, 1-4 in the red zone, just, leaving the comfortable comeback victory for the Eagles just on the table, waiting to be snatched against the last team you want to do that. And then I've got an open slate there for the fifth spot.
So hear me again. It's
Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield,
Yep.
Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts. Not in that order, just those are four that they're the guys that I don't want to see on the opposite sideline.
Can you hear that, Laurie?
Uh-huh.
Can you hear it?
Uh-huh.
Dun, 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 dun. It's Indiana Jones, baby. It is. It has to be. Daniel Indiana Jones.
You've got him in the top 5 quarterbacks you don't want to see on the opposite sideline right now. Above, obviously, Jaden Daniels is hurt right now.
Yep.
Joe Burrow is very hurt right now.
Burrow.
Patrick Mahomes is making Tyquan Thornton look.
That wasn't a great game today.
Look like Brandon Lloyd.
Giants, but yeah, I mean, Patty Mahomes is still there, obviously. I'm talking right now, after 3 weeks, I'm putting Indiana Jones in my top 5.
I think, look, here's the thing about Indiana Jones.
They finally punted. They hadn't punted in forever.
Here's the thing about Indiana Jones. And, we kind of gave it, they did finally punt. We kind of gave it a bit of lip service. We respected what was going on, but we weren't going to put all the eggs in the basket. But over a 2-0 start, but you're all in. I'm all in on Stike, Daddy. I've made that very, very clear. Shane Steichen. But watching the Indiana Jones experience today, for the first time in his career, he looks like he's playing calmly. It doesn't look too fast for him. He is someone that there was never any doubt about his academic smarts, that he knew the playbook, that he could go up on the board and draw it all up for you. It was that harried chaos and decision-making when the snap started counting for real and it all started flying around him. He doesn't look like that in this Steichen offense right now. He looks patient. He looks calm. He looks like he knows where the ball's going to go. I'm not trying to denigrate here. There is a heavy amount of training wheels on. That's play action just about every single pass. His touchdown wasn't. His touchdown was a drop back.
Yeah.
But everything, or just about everything, is a play action, roll out, find like a Warren or a Pittman or a Pierce. But he's making the right decisions. He looks calm. The game looks like it's slowed down for him. So I'm going to absolutely give him credit there, despite the fact that I've watched a lot of bad Daniel Dimes.
Yeah, but maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe the training wheels are on for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get him out there and expect him to do everything. It's like, build the confidence up. Get a guy in there. We've seen it so many times now with quarterbacks changing for their second or third team, and they, find a good. I feel like he's a piece of something as well.
Yeah.
In the Giants, there's a bit of he had to be the man, like a little bit.
They drafted him literally because they felt like he was a clone of Eli.
Yeah.
The photos, the faces, who he had worked with, who'd been tutored under as a quarterback from quarterback coaching. There was all this talk about that. This is, everyone loves a reclamation project. Everyone likes a comeback story, and he's not the only one doing that, right? Steichen was written off. Steichen was talked about, is he going to be first coach fired? You look at guys like Jonathan Taylor. Oh, is he past it? We've seen the best football. Is the offensive line past it? We've seen the best of that. Michael Pittman, that's never really going to happen. Alec Pierce, that's never really going to happen.
Yeah.
And these guys are all playing career best football now. So yeah, I think there's a love for a reclamation project, just like there is for the Baker Mayfields of the world, just like there is for the Sam Darnolds of the world. We'll touch on Sammy a little later, but look, massive credit to him because it looks. I watched the game and then I watched every single pass attempt afterwards.
You did. You told me before we started.
I watched every single one.
I watched every pass.
I did, and
on your birthday,
a couple of on my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Did you watch all that Cowboys game?
Yeah, I did. Sadly, I did watch all of that. A couple of heat seekers that might have carried a little high, but there was a couple of drops. His numbers could have even been better. So yeah, and there's been prolific quarterbacks have had training wheels, but you think Sean McVay hasn't had. Kyle Shanahan hasn't had offensive training wheels. The Philadelphia Eagles certainly have had 100%. That with Jalen Hurts over his career. Dak Prescott in year one, that I remember when football used to be fun, in 2016. There were massive, that was set up to, Dak, we're going to set you up like this. Line of scrimmage is going to have this going on.
Less is more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, look, there's very few football players that I'd look at and be like, oh, I really want you to have a rough time.
So are you happy with Indiana Jones in your top 5, or you'd put someone else?
No, I'd 100% put somebody else in it. But
you're not going to like my next question. My next question is the MVP Justin Herbert or Daniel Indiana Jones right now? As we speak?
It's for. I'll put Justin Herbert there, and I have Josh Allen right after him.
Yeah,
that's the 1 and 2 for me. That's how I see this right now. But look, Jones, and the thing is, narratives count in the MVP debate. but the people making those calls are going to
look. It was a bit of a joke. To be completely honest,
Yeah.
I am high on Justin Herbert though. That is not a joke. I didn't realize though they're only like a year apart in age. So Daniel Jones is 28, Justin Herbert's 27, and they both went in the first round, pick 6 in back-to-back years.
They did,
and I do think, like, I know we're joking about the Daniel Jones thing. This training was he's not there yet, but Justin Herbert is. He might be him.
Oh, he is.
This is for a guy that we had plenty of questions about for many years. This feels like a different. Why is it different?
You want me to talk about the Madison Beer effect? Why is it different?
Taking out his offensive line to dates.
Why is it different? Look, offensive line is, but even with the injury, offensive line is certainly playing better.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh makes you believe too.
Yeah,
like
the Jim effect.
Absolutely. The guy's
Gyms make everything better.
Don't I? But no, Jim Harbaugh instills belief. He puts players in position to succeed. He's program built every single stop, and he's got Super Bowl appearances or national titles to prove it at multiple different levels. So I think that's a massive part of it.
And everything was fine with Michigan.
This is not the college business.
It's not a college football
conspiracy.
Anyway.
It's not a college football conspiracy show.
I think he's that good, and I think the Chargers are that good as well.
He's a supercomputer with every bit of physical trait you could want.
Yeah, and a cannon of the arm as well.
It's just, you cover everything up, and then he breaks off runs, and he runs physically as well as athletically and fast. And the arm is ridiculous. His placement, his accuracy is outrageous, and he's increasingly confident and calm. So that's what's separating. And Josh Allen's already got an MVP under his belt. He's chasing silverware.
I've said it though. I don't love the narrative thing. Like, there are times where someone else should have won it, but because they have won it, people just go, "Oh, we're going to look for something else." Even though statistically, or just the eye test, they probably are the MVP. But he just won one. They're like, "Yeah, you want to give another one?"
I think
right now, it's
amazing how quick that changes too.
Yeah, well, I think there's two questions though. I think who is the best player in the league? I think it's Josh Allen. MVP is Patrick Herbert because it's a separate conversation around
Patrick Herbert is an interesting idea. You combining Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert.
Tight end, Patrick.
Ooh. It's just a fever dream that's really got away from me right there.
I had a few drinks for the podcast.
Who do you have as the MVP right now?
I do think Justin Herbert is. Yeah,
it's 3 weeks in.
I think that's the thing though, right? It's 3 weeks in. He looks really good. There's a great story there. The Chargers look good. In the Kansas City Chiefs don't look as good.
Nope.
So I think they're that. But I still think Josh Allen. Like if I was starting a team, I'd pick Josh Allen.
The good thing is they've got an interesting balance of cupcake matchups and narrative matchups coming up, right? They get the Giants, which you'd expect is going to be them moving to 4-0.
Yeah.
Then you get the Commanders. Hopefully Jaden Daniels is back by then in a couple of weeks. Then we talk about narratives, and there's the guy that was talked about right next to him in the draft, Tua Tagovailoa, we think, for the Miami Dolphins.
Roll time.
And then as far as you're concerned, in a month from now, we get on the 20th of October at 7:05 a.m., we get the MVP off. Indiana Jones and the Colts taking on the Chargers and Justin Herbert. So it's a really fun run. It's a fun run.
And I have a very different opinion about that, obviously. But I regret my own words.
I will just say this, and we talk about this, and we like to pick, people love to pick holes in things that are good, but do have things like training wheels on them, like that Colts offense. Stop them then.
Yeah.
Stop them.
Yeah.
Because Warren's a problem. Pittman is playing really good football. You hope that the health is okay for Alec Pierce, who took a big hit on a downhill, thought it was a completion, ended up getting called incomplete. Jonathan Taylor's on track to be rushing champion of 2025.
Great second round draft pick in any fantasy league.
And
the only good player I have.
And so stop him. The line's playing better than you think, and Steichen's clearly got some comfort with the quarterback. It's on you. You can say we can say it's simplistic, or people can say, oh, it's this, and this. All right. Well, they're undefeated.
Speaking of stop him. Go Birds.
All right, natural segue there. Let's get to your Philadelphia Eagles.
Not gonna, if you are a fan or not a fan of the Tush Push, you'll have to wait because we've got for our hot mic, we've got a hot mail. Someone sent a great email from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
To me, it's found its way into my emails.
Yeah. Did they find you on MSN Messenger too? Is that how they got your dates?
Because I kept going online and offline.
Yeah.
You ever do that to try and get a girl's attention?
If I wasn't blocked already, yeah. It's tough. It was tough, man. When
You're going to love this. My first email was set up by a girl in year 6, and it was called snozzer_man at Hotmail.
Oh.
Because she thought I had a big nose.
Stepping on my terrain there. That's my yard.
I know. I feel.
Yeah, my first.
I still have that handle if you want it.
My first email address. My mum found out what it was, and she made me change it. She found out at the dinner table.
Is it not appropriate?
Not appropriate. Okay, not Disney approved.
Afterwards, back to
shout out to one of our guys in our year who had that fart smells at hotmail.com.
Oh, that's good.
And all the Deros live at hotmail.com. We were big on that. A destination and then the at. So it made it seem at hotmail.com. Yeah.
You guys are smart.
Good plug for Hotmail right now.
Back to my birds. Big shout. We love big fellas.
We do.
Jordan Davis.
He's a lovely man.
Great man. How about this? Reached a max speed of 18.59 miles per hour for our American friends that yell at Laurie and I when we don't do it in the right versions.
I think that's faster than Russell Wilson ran on Sunday Night Football today.
And that is 29.9 kilometers per hour.
Oh, I love kilometers.
For Australians fans. That's 30 Ks an hour.
Moving.
He be moving.
Big man moving.
I loved it. Can I play some audio? Now, I want to
always play some audio.
I'm not going to apologize, but I do host a breakfast radio show.
You do.
The Jimmy and A show with Emma on Today FM.
Absolutely.
Shout out. And I was watching the game live this morning. And we were live on air doing a break. You've seen this. I put it on my socials. But you can hear, this is real time me. I'm watching it on my laptop, but you can hear me live on air. Ready? Have a listen.
He was a great bloke shuffling, dog. Suck it, Rams! Sorry. Go! Sorry. All the way, big fella, to the house! The big guy.
I mean, look, when someone who weighs, 330, 340 pounds gets on the road, like, that's the only appropriate reaction.
And I had plenty of DMs where we had people going, did Jimmy just yell suck it, Rams on the radio? I did, and I regret nothing.
Well, the Rams.
What do you think? Because we were down. We were down 26-7, scored 26 points. We were talking about Hurts earlier.
Yep.
Ended up having a great game.
It just Rams need to go back to the room and the board on what the hell was going on the red zone. I mean, Pukenuku had 15 targets today. I think maybe he needs 25 a game because that man is absolutely unstoppable.
Yeah.
He's a delight to watch. Devontae Adams is clearly far less washed.
Yeah.
Than Cooper Kupp in that whole exchange of former All-Pro receivers or current All-Pro receivers. Yeah. So look, I think there's clearly positives for the Rams, but you've got to close out that game. They left that it's just the last team you can do that. You want to play the Baltimore Ravens and waste opportunities late. They've shown that they're not necessarily clinching, closing out, can kind of take advantage of all those situations type of game. There are good teams that don't have the reputation, proven, deserved reputation that the Philadelphia Eagles do. So look, I think the Rams are going to be good. I think the Rams are. I would not be
2-1.
They're still 2-1. They prove they can hang with undefeated. I know not defending. You guys don't like saying that. We'll call them 2024 Super Bowl champions.
You were there. It's
very sensitive. They're not defending. But they can hang with anyone, and I expect to see the Rams make a run at the NFC Championship game. But that's just they know they let one go there.
Yeah, they know that you can't be up 26-7 against us.
No,
and then let us score 26. And again, I mean, right at the end, that kind of was nothing. But again, it was still 26 points. That we put on the board.
Absolutely. But this is we said it last week. The Birds have shown us two variations of that over the past two seasons. They will win dirty and have a strong record, and it could mean that they're just able to win dirty and that maybe they don't have the horses for the course of the playoffs. It also could mean that they just know how to win dirty and they're building and building and trending, and then they go absolutely wax the Chiefs in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, I think for me, it's they're still my tip to play in the Super Bowl. I did say if they're not there, it would be the Green Bay Packers, which was also your tip.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the Packers? Browns 13, Packers 10. Where is the Jordan Love?
He's on the floor underneath Myles Garrett and friends because
he lost to the Myles Garrett Browns.
Oh my, that pass rush. I mean, that's the thing. We spend so much time talking about the Browns and what's going on at quarterback. They had 9 of them. Now they have 3 of them. When is it going to be Gabriel? When is it going to be Shadua, et cetera, et cetera? But I don't think anyone expected great pass rush talent on both sides, right?
Yeah.
Don't know if you know, but Micah Parsons plays for the Packers.
I always let him go.
I haven't recently. It was super fun. So you've got the 2 elite pass rushers spamming your TJ Watt fanboys out there, right? It's sorry, and fangirls. Or the TJ Watt love out there saying he's in the same tier. Not true. Okay, but you got Garrett and Parsons out there, and a bunch of other talent showing Gary and whatnot. But you wouldn't have expected the quarterback to evade pressure in this one better to be Joe Flacco over Jordan Love. Jordan Love got planted for 5 sacks, and Joe Flacco just a mere 2.
Browns had no points after 3 quarters.
It was 10-0, and the Packers were driving towards midfield with first downs at the change of the 3rd to the 4th quarter. There was no excuse for this. Josh Jacobs got buttoned up and contained a bit. And I think, Quinshon Judkins is those who invested in fantasy are going to be very happy with what they saw from him today.
94 yards.
Way better running ball. Neither team, not a lot of explosion through the air or on the ground, but the team that was more likely to break off a play as this one went along became the Cleveland Browns. But yeah, the Jordan Love got absolutely peppered, and in massive spots too.
I do have a
drive-ending style sack.
I have a great piece of audio
Go
from
on.
your boy Michael Parsons, just explaining what went wrong.
Yep.
Here we go.
Philosopher as always, Jordan.
My legs be real, and sometimes, just like today, the bed. That's just the reality.
They did. We were contemplating naming that podcast Packers the Bed. We were being producer Krugs were talking about
Shout
that.
Shout out
to
the
Krugs.
guy behind the scenes.
It's an absolute, just a man that sees the game. He sees the field, man.
He's got some ideas.
He's got some thoughts.
I mean, they're more
stuff.
NBA sort of related, but maybe you could do him on this podcast.
Oh, he's got some thoughts about
Freddie
some
Krugs.
stuff. He's had a couple of nicknames. He does. Yeah, he comes in hot on an early Monday for
Are you
Freddie
worried
reference.
about the Packers?
No. It's just, look, it's a bad. Sometimes a pass rush catches fire and they heat up.
Yeah,
and it's like an avalanche, and that's kind of what it felt like for the Packers today. Matt LaFleur runs a hell of a running game, and that's always been a great foundation for what they've done since he took over there and they ushered in the Jordan Love era. That wasn't going today, and when they can't lay that foundation, it's going to look a little ugly. That Cleveland, again, we talk about the quarterbacks and whatever goes on with the Cleveland Browns on offense, Sean Watson, all that kind of stuff. The defense is still very talented.
It's very good.
And they still have this in them.
Yeah.
I don't think we just expected it for a team like the Green Bay Packers that had laid Super Bowl statements times 2 through 2 weeks.
And Myles Garrett, that's a man.
He's a problem.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Let's say Micah's words, them out there. He was talking before the game. He said, if you want to say Myles Garrett is better than me, I'm not necessarily going to argue. And then he was asked, is there anybody else you could say that about? He's like, no, just Myles.
That's it.
Humility followed up by necessary superstar ego.
All right, we've covered off a bunch of games.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like this to kick things off.
Now time for some quick hitters.
Yeah.
There's certain
Quick
games
hits.
in here that I want to get through. Quick hits. All right, let's start right off the top. Commanders led by Marcus Mariota, not Jaden Daniels, 41. Raiders 24. The Mariota ground game, they had everybody running the ball. The Bill fans out there, I know we had Nick call in on the hot mic, the Marcus hot mic last week, and was very concerned about what we'd seen for Bill's usage. And then they come out with Chris Rodriguez Jr. to start the game. So that had Bill draft to here. Very panicky. Everyone got their action in the running back room. They put Rodriguez to work. They did get Bill some touches, and the last one, Jeremy McNichols, who broke up a 60-yard touchdown run. He was once going to be the guy that takes over for Derrick Henry in Tennessee. Yeah. So they had that thing. They remodeled the offense, had Mariota in a comfortable position, outclassed the Raiders defense that feels like they're struggling on all 3 sides of the ball, and Ashton Genty has these moments, and then you also see that he just gets hammered behind the line of scrimmage over and over and over again.
He's little, he's small. I mean, not that you can still have success, as a small running back, but he is small.
He's a kind of 5'7", 5'8" guy. He's rocked up, but you got to
bricked up.
Look, anytime you invest high in a running back, I'm not against that as long as you can take advantage of it.
Yep.
There was difference between what the Giants did with Saquon Barkley and what the Eagles did, because the Eagles had an offensive line ready to unlock him. There's a difference between what the Giants did drafting Saquon Barkley and where the Cowboys drafted Ezekiel Elliott when they had the Great Wall of Dallas too, and he could unlock and they could actually make a playoff run or try to. All right, moving on. Vikings 48, Bengals 13. Carson Wentz looking superb.
Who's this guy?
Isaiah Rodgers, former Philadelphia Eagle, with 2 fumble recovery, making history with 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, returned for a touchdown, and an interception returned for a touchdown. Have a day.
Yeah.
And a Michelle Pfeiffer fumbles from Cincinnati. Always good. Yeah. Always good. Michelle Pfeiffer's in cricket? Good. Michelle Pfeiffer's fumbling? Not so good.
What cricketers do? No. It's not good for Bengals. Bengals fantasy owners too. It's
a lot of points in that one. Not as many for Justin Jefferson as I would have liked to see, but
free Jameis. We're both big on that. We didn't invent it, but I'd love to see him on the Bengals.
Jameis and the Bengals. Everyone's talked about it.
The NFL's better with him starting in a team. You know, I've said this many
30
times.
for 34, Jameis, chucking it to T. Higgins and, of course, Jamar Chase is something that the world wants to see. The jersey swaps have already been done.
My veins!
Something that you're going to get about us, something you're going to understand about me and Jimmy is we just want to see football be great all the time. All the time.
I
And
don't
whatever
want to see
we
players injured. I just want to see every team being great.
We don't want to see Sunday Night Football duds. We want to see high-octane action, whether that's defense or offense. We want to see good football, and we want to see players be unleashed when they need to. Are we going to sit here and say, free Kirk Cousins? Maybe not, but free Jameis forever. Always free Jameis. All right, couple from you.
Yeah,
sir.
Cardinals 15, 49ers 16. Do you like jokes?
I love jokes.
Do you like knock-knock jokes?
Sure.
Okay, Brock.
Who's there?
Mac Jones, baby! I think life seems to be pretty good for the 49ers without Brock Purdy. Looks like they've lost Nicky Bosa to an injury. Do we know anything?
They didn't rule out ACL. They don't think it's ACL, but they're going to test to see if it's ACL.
I mean, they're 3-0, but there's a lot of injuries on that team. And speaking of injuries, Cardinals, James Conner, rest of the year. I don't think that's been confirmed either, but Adam Schefter said it was definitely surgery.
Bad, severe ankle injury.
That's I hate seeing that. I hate seeing players injured.
If you don't know James Conner's backstory, he fought through severe life-threatening illness in his college period and then came into the NFL, was backing up, I think, the likes of like Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
I think he kind of rose to shine when Le'Veon sat out for the season. And in came James Conner. And he's just been an undeniably unstoppable barnstorming running back that has never been the sexiest pick in fantasy or anything like that. But the dude has just churned out and run his absolute legs off through his career. And it's tough to see that, that's the type of injury that you worry that you ever get back to full flight with that. But look, Christian McCaffrey, not explosive as a running back, but another big receiving day. And Ricky Pearsall is there.
Speaking of injuries, dude got shot.
Talk about quarter...
He did.
And rolling off that point, he did. He did. We need him coming out to many men.
Many men.
But no singing.
Sorry. It was more of a spoken slam poetry.
Yeah. Which, I've heard you were involved in the university days.
I interviewed 50 Cent this morning for my
you?
radio show. Yeah.
Did you ask him for rights to sing his song?
I said, "Go Birds."
He's a New Yorksman.
Yeah, I didn't get confirmation he knew if he was a fan of the Giants or whatever. I'll send you the clip. It's just me going, I got an Eagles hat on. I'm like, "Go Birds!"
He feels like he'd be a Giants fan.
I feel like, I just assumed he's a Giants fan because I knew like New York sort of,
I don't know if I've seen him in like he maybe did in a TV show
with like a Giants hat or a jersey or whatever. Also weird to be doing an Australian interview and some dude's just like, "Go Birds!" But I was amped, obviously, from the win. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't doubt this is the last time that you're going to be on national radio on a Monday morning screaming out "Go Birds" or
"Suck it,"
or any other opposition. But look, the quarterback agnostic, Ricky Pearsall will get it done.
Yeah.
Mac Jones, Brock Purdy, doesn't matter. He's coming for it all.
Steelers 21, Patriots 14. I wrote, okay, here you go. New England should have won this game.
Correct.
Patriots beat the Steelers in passing yardage, rushing yardage, total yardage, offensive plays, first downs, penalty yardage. I can keep going.
Yeah.
But they turned over the ball 5 times, 4 fumbles and a touchdown. That led to 14 points for the Steelers.
It's not often you fumble 4 times and lose each one.
Yeah.
Fumble luck tends to sort itself out. Yeah. 4 for 4. We just mentioned the Pfeiffer.
You've had a 30 for 30? Welcome to 4 for 4.
If I want to give Patriots fans a positive lining and, given what the last 20-something years have been, it's not necessarily my first instinct, but with Gibson fumbling the ball and Ramondre fumbling the ball twice, I feel like we might get Travion Henderson unlocked. He did lead them with 11 carries, wasn't overly productive with them, but perhaps this is what we need to get Henderson truly to the front of the queue there in the running back room for a Patriots team that is 1-2 and has got in their own way on more than one occasion. All right, next one for me. The Panthers 30, the Falcons 0, and the 6 words the Falcons fans do not want to hear. Kirk Cousins is in at quarterback. Because this was ugly. Michael Penix is going to get hype going in the offseason because he can spin a tight spiral. He's got a strong arm. He's got that slingy lefty action. Yeah. It does excite, and the weapons out there, whether it's Drake London or Bijan Robinson, pronounce it take your pick. Because
Bijan.
I think Bijan's trolling everybody right now with the multiple pronunciations.
If I had a weird name, and I don't, mine's James Smith. But if I just had something, I'd change it every year.
Yeah.
I'd just do another interview and just say it different. No, it actually is Bijan.
I thought about that with my last name, but my last name can also my last name can get into problematic areas. I was
a few drinks. He really is Horesh.
I was 1000% at a soccer camp when I was about 9, and the guy reading out, and they just kind of read out everybody and gave you a medal participation style at the end of the soccer camp, football camp, and he just thought the last H was silent. So I'll let you. This is a Disney show, but I'll let you guys figure out what that eventuates into. Look, yeah. It looked bad for Penix. The interception he threw in the flat that was a pick 6. I'm no quarterback guru, okay? I'm not a Manning. I'm not here to coach you on a quick release
right now.
Yeah, but
I'm seeing double.
I can tell you for those that have watched NFL for ages, or maybe you're just finding the sport, when you're watching a quarterback and his feet are pointed straight at his target, technique might have gotten away. They're meant to. You start on a side on and you work through that motion. The lower body mechanics were all over the shop. He was staring down his receiver, and the color commentator for that game, forgive me, I can't remember who was on it, couldn't get it out quickly enough. The pick was made, and before I think the feet were down and the DB took off, he was like, "That is all on Penix." Just hammered him. Did not want to wait. It was like,
Penix
Michael
loves throwing the ball to the opposition. That's where he goes wrong.
It was shocking. So a lot of warning signs, about a 50% completion rate, multiple turnovers. Penix looked awful. And Kirk Cousins had to come in at the end of this one. And, hey, way to go, Panthers fans. You got a 30-0 drubbing on the board. Bryce Young ran one in.
Yeah.
Nice to see. Nice guy, Bryce.
Yeah.
One of my stable of boys.
Love little fellas.
I love Bryce. And
big fellas, little fellas.
And Tet McMillan, T-Mac, Tetaroa McMillan, prefers his full name, is looking like one of the heirs to the big body god he thrown. We did see Mike Evans go down with a hamstring injury. Never fun for a 32-year-old to cop one of those. But I do like to keep an eye, because we're in this age where people demonize the big receiver that runs a 4.55 or something. And McMillan got a lot of that in the draft process, but he looks like a real problem, and clearly the apex one there for the Panthers. Fine. All right, here we go. Birthday time. Bears 31, Cowboys 14. This is the
worst. You made
the
Bears great again.
We made the Bears offense great again. For the second straight week, we turned a quarterback with question marks into Dan Marino. It was Russ Wilson for 4 quarters last week. It was Caleb Williams until it was time.
Sorry, I've got a new ad to read. Hi, is your offense struggling? Can I interest you in some Dallas Cowboys?
And I've got a peel off of that. Do you have a backup quarterback that's looking to get paid? Why don't you check out their schedule for the shining star of the Cowboys on their upcoming slate? We guarantee you 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and a fat bag of cash. The Cowboys will make you look absolutely studly. The Cowboys are making teams great again this season. They're making offenses. And was it the first time Caleb had never been, was it sacked through an intersection? He didn't throw
intersection.
He hadn't. I believe it is his first start where he hasn't taken a sack. His sack rate has been, for those in the literati world, has been something they focused on through his time in the league so far. This was not that. The Cowboys, I know they traded for Kenny Clark to stop the run. They couldn't do much of that. They certainly couldn't stop the pass. Flea flicker touchdowns. Just Caleb Williams standing back there. Ben Johnson knew the Cowboys could not cover deep, and he told Caleb, "Hey, you've got an absolute hose of right arm. Let's send it deep."
Yeah.
And that's what they put on from the get-go. Cowboys had no answer for this. They are a truly hapless defense right now. There may be some more to come from that in a later segment, but yeah, they're on a highway to a lot of 25-40 type of losses.
I will defend Laurie as well, because he told everyone from last week's show, this isn't on the podcast, but from last week's podcast and recorded it to now, everyone he spoke to, he was like,
told the office,
the Bears are going to win. Yeah. Bet the house on the Bears. Yeah. Take out your children's college fund, guys, and bet on the Bears.
Yes, they're going from UWS to Notre Dame now. Yeah, that's what you could have done with your college fund. All right, you had
Cowboys a walk on to Alabama.
Cowboys coming off an overhyped victory over a terrible Giants team where they put up 40 points on my birthday.
You knew it
against a struggling Bears team.
Yeah,
what else was going to happen here? This was easy money.
Sorry,
All
man.
Right. That's
birthday.
right. We'll work through it.
Let's go. Texans 10, Jaguars 17 for the artist formerly known as CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
This is one of my, as I know you're high on CJ Stroud. I hate to do this on your birthday, but this graphic I love. So we all know that iconic photo scene where, he's with Caleb Williams. We're just talking about It's like, keep your chin up, big fella. You got to keep going. He's like being this positive guy. So before that happened, he threw for 4,602 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 5 intersections.
Was an intersection or something.
Yeah. And the 18 games since, he's had 3,832, 19 touchdowns, 15 intercepts.
That's 3 times 5.
Yeah, 3 times 5.
Private school math again.
And they're 0-3. I don't know what. I mean, what he had 204 yards today with a touchdown, but had 2 interceptions again. What's going on? Because you love this guy.
I love this guy. This is not hard to predict what was going to happen here. I mean, he took 2 sacks on the day, but that offensive line can't lay the platform for absolutely anything.
Yeah.
5 QB hits, so he's certainly getting peppered. The running game, there's 4 yards.
Probably out for the whole season.
4.2 for Nick Chubb, 4.5 for Woody Marks. There's worse numbers out there, but that's a 15 total rushes. Nico Collins has flashes.
Yeah.
But this offense is not running on schedule. That offensive line is an absolute atrocity. And this is so easy to see coming into this season. It was so easy to see, hey, we've got this phenomenal talent at quarterback. We know we've got an apex receiver. Had some injuries at some of the other spots. Hate to see where Tank Dell has had to go, what he's had to go through, but we've drafted some other guys. Got like your Dalton Schultz types. We've got a security blanket at tight end. We can do something. And none of that matters when you have no foundation, and that's what's happening. They're getting absolutely pummeled over and over and over again. They're winless, and they look answerless.
Yeah. All right. Saints 13, Seahawks 44. It wasn't a great game.
No.
I'll be completely honest. I had a note here about tush push, not push tush, just because we got away with a false start. And I know we're going to talk about that a bit later, but the Saints had one. They were flagged for moving early after attempting a tush push in the first quarter. They went for it on the 4th and less than 1. Failed. As a result, penalty. Saints had to punt right in the hands of your boy, Torrey Horton. 95-yard touchdown. That's just the complete opposite of how to run that play. Like, it just couldn't have been any worse. It's just, I was like, the Saints.
That's like you get the report back, and it's like, we appreciate Laurie's effort, but he needs to read the instructions and the question carefully before constructing his answer.
Yeah. Laurie just did working, no answers. Yes. It's like, show the working. It's just working.
Just working.
There's no answers.
Yeah. And the working was a absolute kaleidoscope of misery in terms of the way they tried to get that going. Look, it's nice to see the Seahawks back to 2-1. I think they wasted an opportunity in week 1 against a kind of undermanned, not full flight 49ers team. Darnold threw it for 18. He threw 18 times and cleared 200 yards. This is 12.1 yards an attempt, but like this is what they should be doing to terrible teams. I think Seahawks are a good team. I don't think they're a great team, but good teams beat up on the lowly of the NFL. That's what they did there. Yep. And Jackson Smith-Njigba emerging as a top 10 kind of wide receiver in the NFL.
Really good.
And he had the flu. He had the bug. He had the man flu on Saturday.
Did Jordan, did he?
He had the man flu.
Yeah.
And then
man flu is actually pretty bad. I don't know if anyone knows this, but it'll lay you out.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, you can speak. Your wife's had a kid. It's worse than pregnancy, isn't it?
Oh,
just look down. Just look down camera and say,
"Hi, sweetheart."
Damn it! I nearly got him.
The messages uttered by Jimmy Smith do not reflect the position of other co-hosts of this podcast. But yeah, I look forward to seeing the Seahawks get tested against firmer competition in the weeks to come, and I want to see more Torrey Horton because I think he should be the second receiver on this. I think the opportunities he had in the passing game,
Cup's gone.
I think Cup's fallen off. Yeah. I mean, a lot of smarter football people have put it out there that for a while now, Cooper Kupp's kind of been a tight end. Just a short tight end. That's how he's functioning out there. I want to see more Torrey Horton because I think he unlocks things and JSN's a delight. But
look, you want to say the full name?
Jackson Smith-Njigba.
You're such a professional.
Thank you so much. And to close this one out from
Chiefs
the results,
Giants.
Chiefs Giants. Short read here. Giants not good. Russell Wilson not back. Chiefs got a win. Desperately needed it. Patrick Mahomes is just going to have to play almost keep away and hold head above water until Xavier Worthy a little bit, but Rashee Rice come back and they can start playing the offense.
Yeah, when your leading receiver is Taekwon Thornton.
Look, anytime you
goes to the 5 receptions, 71 yards, a touchdown.
The Patriots have been known for drafting high-end receivers. So anytime you get one of their washouts and can turn him into someone that productive, who's just catching deep balls for fun towards the end of that one. But look, important for the Chiefs to get off the schneid. The Giants are bound for a certain direction. It's just a question of if and when they put Jackson Dart in.
Well,
if they don't deal Jameis, I would put Jameis in next. I would delay the Jackson Dart of it all as long as possible.
I was going to say that because there were calls today, like when I was watching it and falling asleep. But yeah, the next game is Chargers.
We know how that's going.
Saints Giants. But even if you put Dart in for that game, the next game is Eagles Giants. Yeah. Then it's Broncos Giants. Then it's Eagles Giants again. So you can't really put him in for a game and then pull him back out. To your point, I'd play Jameis, or if not trade him. Free him. Free our boy.
Free Jameis.
We want to eat some dubs.
I mean, you know who wants... I mean, Malik Neighbors wants some Jameis Winston time out there. And Malik Neighbors' fantasy drafters certainly do.
Look at Jerry Jeudy last year. He turned him into like a star.
I think the sweet spot... like I
on their schedule?
I just think if you overexpose the young quarterback, I think you want Andrew Thomas to be back, and he made a difference today. You want that line to gel as much as it's going to with whatever talent they have there.
I'll tell you when to put Jackson Dart in.
Go on.
4th of January, last game of the season.
Against the Dallas Cowboys?
Against the Dallas Cowboys.
I think, look...
And he's going to have this huge game, 500 yards throwing, he's going to have 5 touchdowns. And
I don't think you want him out there against potentially healthy again 49ers in November. The Bears, okay, maybe. The Packers and the Lions back-to-back. I don't want him out there.
Back-to-back.
Get him going in the Patriots. Commanders, you can get up for that game even if you're underdogs because it's a division rivalry. The Vikings, they're chaos. Who knows? And then the Raiders and Cowboys to close. And you try and run over the final 5 weeks of that. If he can get you a 3-2 finish, maybe even a 4-1 finish, that's positive. If you put him out there for 11 weeks with this Giants roster as currently constructed, I struggle to see them doing... If he plays 11 games, I struggle with him doing any better than 4-7. And then you're sitting there going, we have no answers. Yeah. Whereas if he finishes with a winning record over the final month or so of the season, you come away from it, especially if your last name is Daboll or Shane, going, hey, trajectory.
But does Daboll panic and go, I need to put something in early to prove that he should be there?
What would make you think that anyone running the New York Giants football operation over the last decade would make a panicked, ill-advised decision?
No, you're right. They're nothing but a cool, calm, collected organization.
You know what I'm...
At least they're not the Cowboys, bro. Anyway, that was quick hits.
That was quick hits.
Time for Hot Mike, baby.
That's it. When I am trying to cool down, I turn to McDonald's and I get myself a Frosty shake. So it is time for the Macca's Hot Mic, brought to you by our friends at McDonald's. And we have 3 audios, and we have 3 audios for the Hot Mic. And then we do have, as you mentioned, a hot mail entry to come in.
Yeah, I'm right here, baby.
Watch phrasing. Mild pause. Okay, to start this one off, this is related to a certain team. I'm going to play this one for you now.
How about them Cowboys?
This is from J.A.
Hi, guys. J.A. here. Long time, first time. Wanted to call in about mine and Laurie's Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, I don't accept that.
I cannot watch this defense play football. It is schematically the worst defense I've ever seen.
Good word.
Matt Eberflus's whole scheme is based around playing a soft zone and generating pressure.
Soft.
Yet going into a season, you trade away the only guy that can generate pressure at a high level for the Dallas Cowboys. This is just textbook wasting a quarterback. Prescott now has to be perfect in every single game. They lost today because CeeDee Lamb got hurt and they couldn't score any points. And then the Bears just did whatever the hell they wanted on offense. This season is over. This Cowboys needs to rebuild, and I don't know what the way forward is.
Preach. No lies told there.
No, I mean, I don't think we said it on the pod last week, but the ghost of Trayvon Diggs, which hurts me. Roll Tide.
Not quite healthy and not quite good.
No.
Either or. And Deron Bland's still out. And this was a bad defense with both those guys on the field. It is folks, just a PSA from me. If you have fantasy players and you're worrying about, do I start this in my flex? If they're playing the Cowboys, start them. I mean, Dak Prescott played very well for a lot of this game. They were like Javonte Williams had a huge carry early and somehow fumbled Pickens was 2 inches. He was good until he had a dot put onto his hands that he handed straight to an interception.
And then he's banging his helmet on the sideline.
Do you
ever think a player gets fake angry?
Oh yeah, the fake pen throw.
Yeah.
Oh, darn it!
Oh, why did I drop that? It's really upsetting.
It was. Dak's got to be filthy because he played. I mean, he threw a bad red zone interception when this thing was. We were out of clutch territory at this point.
Yeah.
But this is what we thought was going to happen, and what a lot of us said. Dak was going to be put in a position where he was going to be playing really good football with absolutely zero room for error.
Yeah.
They were going to be chasing 40 points in just about every game. The defense wasn't going to be able to do anything. They were going to lose time of possession.
Oh no. Yeah, hold my hand.
Thanks. And
no, I just looked who you have next week.
Oh, yeah. There's a familiar face coming to town. He doesn't wear 11 anymore. He wears 1. Yeah, except it won't be 1 sack. It'll be multiple sacks that Micah Parsons.
11.
It might be closer to the old 11 number that he inflicts in Jerry World. He's coming back.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, that's coming up. So
that's the late 10, 20. Oh, the late game next
yeah.
Too.
Oh, yeah. I'll be in a sparkling mood. I'll be flying.
I bought you a birthday present. It hasn't come yet. But I'll give it to you next week.
Okay. Well,
It's a Micah Parsons Green Bay Packers jersey. Imagine.
And you know what? They didn't even put Brandon Aubrey out there. That's the one thing you could hang your hat on. Only got 2 opportunities. Not fair. So it's going that way. We've spent time on that. JA, you told 0 lies. You were a man of gospel truth on that.
You said that to me before the season, just quickly. Like you said that before the season, right? So it was always going to be a shootout. But now we don't know what's happening with CD. But like you've now lost another weapon. Like you have to be in a shootout with teams.
Absolutely.
But now you've lost arguably your best weapon. We don't know, but
you could very comfortably argue. In fact, I think it's absolutely true. Maybe the only other person I'd throw in there would be Tyler Smith. The Cowboys, as of a month ago, have lost their 2 best players.
Yeah.
One they traded away, and one tried to power through what looks somehow only a high ankle sprain. It looked like that ankle could have been fractured.
Also like his knee as well. Like I don't know. Yeah.
CD will play beat up, but I would not be stunned to hear that he's going on injured reserve if that comes out tomorrow. So
great, my first round pick and one of my 12.
That's right. You can look at your Super Bowl rings. They'll keep you nice and happy. All right, next one. This one, look, we spent a lot of time talking about offense and defense, but sometimes the forgotten third phase of the ball, special teams.
G'day, fellas. Happy Monday.
Thanks, Aiden.
Long time listener, first time caller. Just had a thought while I was taking the action this morning. First of all, how good is a big fella touchdown, Jimmy, by the way? If you don't mind, cheeky little go birds.
Go birds!
What I wanted to say was I saw a few of these this morning, lads. How hard is it to kick the ball through some posts, mate? I've grown up doing it. I went over there and I had to kick up their football as well with a few people in the States that I met. And they were shocked at how well I could do it. I can't do it very well by Australian standards. How hard is it to kick the ball through the posts to win a game? I just want to know your thoughts on that.
As someone who may have stepped out onto a training camp field at the end of practice a couple months ago and potted a couple 30-yard drop goals, which I was surprised by. I didn't think I had 30 in me anymore. I think training camp, limited practices, constrained special teams operations, has lessened the trajectory control of our kickers out there, leading to more blocked kicks and missed kicks. To dumb it down, training camp gone woke, kickers gone bad.
I mean, I think they don't. It's not something you grow up wanting to do right over there. No one really wants to grow up being a kicker.
No, the best ones played soccer.
Yes, correct. Right, and then your guy, from Dallas, he's an ex-MLS player, right? Who then
that's what I was referencing.
Yeah,
go on.
But like that's the thing. Like I found what was really interesting to me, right, is when I was at Alabama, right? There's like everyone can throw a really tight spiral but they're from little kids. They're growing up throwing it, right? We're throwing rugby league.
Yeah. We try and throw a spiral and it looks like off spin.
Yeah, it does. It's like we're doing it's a leggy, Shane Warne, right? It's coming out the back, flipper. But I do think that it's changing as well. I mean, if you look at a lot of college programs, they're all Aussie punters, right? We're the next. I think they hate that. Americans hate that. It's just every punter is like a 30-year-old Aussie bloke. Hey kids, I'm here to study. But look, and then you add pressure, crowd, all that other stuff. I mean, you look at the Falcons. They punted. What's his name?
Youngway Koo.
Sorry. We'll edit that out. And then the other bloke comes in and he misses his first 2 kicks. And you think they would put in a bloke that's going to stand up and put the ball through the slot. So hard kick balls.
Are you picking on someone because his last name is Romo?
Yeah.
Does your shame know no bounds?
No, it doesn't really. I'm an Eagles fan. Have you met us?
Do you know how far
I'll beat you up with a sock full of batteries.
No. Do you know how far you have to dig to find the bottom of the level of depth that I have found this week for you to kick me?
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thanks.
Again,
mate.
I'd like to point out Laurie invited me to do this podcast. He invited this upon himself.
No, I will say this. I think we all sit here and go, I would have absolutely drilled that. And then I'd tell you what, having taken in some of the both foreign, international, and local fans at the Super Bowl experience, where you get to try a kick, there's a lot of cold hard shanks out there.
Oh, I love the game day, college game day.
Yeah.
Like everyone wants to have a crack, and they don't.
Until they duck hook it.
Yeah.
But I will say, on the Cardi kick against your Eagles, the lineup, the setup, and the body language of that Rams operation, they looked crowded. They didn't look like it was well spaced out. It was over to one side of Hash and kind of looked, it did not look comfortable. His body language didn't look good. And then you just remember that your team has assembled Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis to rush next to each other. And
I don't love the Georgia Bulldogs, but I'll accept them when they're on my Eagles team.
Well, there's 19 of them, you should.
We just drafted from the SEC, baby.
Yeah, it's funny. Just an Alabama fan, happy, comfortable bending the rules when it suits them. And
an Eagles fan. I really, really lucked out.
So look, it was a wild day of bad kicking and consequential blocks and all that kind of stuff. But let's bring back the chip shot. I think no more line drives. I like the delicate chip shot. Yeah. Get the pitching wedge out, guys. All right, next one on the Macca's hot mic. This one comes from Bradley.
Just came across a stat which I thought was interesting. Since Michael Penix Jr. has taken over as the starting quarterback for the Falcons, they are 0-4 when their opponents score more than 7 points. So take that with a grain of salt maybe, but just interesting that the Falcons couldn't get it done and were shut out by the Panthers.
I don't know. Sometimes you watch games, right, and you're just like, you got to let it go, right? You're not going to watch film and you're just going to move on. But it looked bad. It looked real bad today. Real bad.
For all that's laid out there, and they've had a couple of injuries on the offensive line, but the talent, right? The Kyle Pitts meme of it all, Drake London, Bijan, and with what they're working with, it shouldn't look this hard. It just feels like there's so little rhythm to that offense. But
also, they made just a terrible mistake. They paid Cousins over $100 million.
$100 million
when Penix was was he
top 10
top
pick?
10, was eighth pick?
Yeah, they moved up. They moved into that spot
when no one thought they were going to draft a quarterback.
Yeah,
because it wasn't their need. So it's like, what if you miff both those?
Yeah,
talking about missed kicks. What if you miss on two quarterbacks?
$100 million and the most prized personnel asset a team has, a high first round pick, and what that unlocks.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Falcons were sitting there. They didn't move into that spot. They were sitting there in the top 10, and stun the world. And it's just like we touched about before. There's some parts of Michael Penix that you can get around. There's a strong arm,
quick release.
Yeah, it's a whippy, fun live spiral that he throws out there. And he tests like he moves around. But anyone that actually spent time watching him at college, he was not a dual threat runner.
No,
that was not a big part of his game, and he was a little bit stary.
Yeah.
He was a little robotic and he was a little stary sometimes. He was super prolific. He had the three-headed monster of Roma Dunze, Jalen McMillan, and Jalen Polk. Two of those three look promising in the NFL level. But he had phenomenal receiving core and an offensive coordinated system that was humming. But this has just looked... These are it's scary when it doesn't look just like growing pains. It looks like the red flags you had before.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I come down on Michael Penix. Right. And then we have one more from the Macca's Hot Mic to the Macca's Hot Mail for a minute.
So this came in via email. So if you want to get involved via email, please do.
We prefer voice notes.
Voice notes are much better.
If you're hanging out on...
But even this email went to Jimmy and Nate's... It went to my Jimmy and Nate account. It wasn't even my personal...
I think it just means that the people are enjoying themselves and they want to be part of the show whatever way they can.
Now, this comes from a guy named Robert from Philadelphia.
Yes.
Now, there are some words in here that are not appropriate.
Yeah.
So we need to Disneyfy it.
Yeah.
You're the full-time Disney employee.
Correct.
Yes. So I'm going to get you to... Laurie's already read this, so he knows what words he needs to replace.
Right.
Okay, it starts. Up yours from Philly. A lot of people are pissed about the Eagles being so successful with the tush push. I think to shut these dorks up, they should get Jordan Mailata in as a running back and let that dude straight up
tickle
some people on the way to gain 1 yard. Since he's Australian, we could call it the
kangaroo hop. Hello.
Dallas. Go Birds. Sent from my iPhone. Oh, baby reindeer. Sent from my iPhone. That was the whole thing. Remember, she kept saying, sent from iPhone.
Oh.
Baby reindeer. Do we want to go over the tush push? We're at 53, 54
Oh
minutes.
my God. We're at 53 already. All right. We got to get moving.
We got to get moving.
On the tush push. Look, the big story now, and it's what I think the reason that it will get further under the microscope and again eventually ruled out is because of the false start of it all. Whether referees and the officials truly believe that they can call it with that. Someone asked me when I said, I think this is what will cause the end of the tush push. And someone said, how is it harder to officiate than, a QB sneak or any other play? Well, the blocking, in my opinion, the blocking comes off way lower. And it's a bigger amount of bodies, all condensed. It's a condensed formation with that much mass all firing at one time in one direction. I had other people ask me, little band reference there, we won't sing any One Direction. I also had someone say, how is it different to a QB sneak in particular? Like, this has been around. Well, QB sneak doesn't have the push coming from behind, but also like the blocking that happens. I watched Tom Brady. The Patriots look, you want to talk about cheating or bending the rules. Patriots were accused of that.
They never did,
throughout
guys.
their dynasty.
Wow, why is this? Doesn't feel as firm. Feels like it's been let of air out. There's a word for that.
But this Patriots dynasty was accused of all sorts of things. I went and watched Tom Brady's quarterback sneaks, a reel of them today, just going over them. And one, you didn't see the false starts happening. The center was the first one going. And two, the blocking was a lot more vertical, guys popping up rather than the kind of the crash ball stuff that does happen that puts those Eagles position. They're not having a great deal of fun physically. I'm sure they enjoy the result. I'm not here saying that it has to be banned today or anything like that. But I think that is what's going to be the downfall because the false starts aren't being caught. It happened again today in a, pivotal moment that led to the Eagles going in for a touchdown rather than getting flagged. That's where I think this is going. I think there's enough anti-support of it being in there or support for it being banned that the league will. They didn't feel like they had a strong enough argument with, we just don't like this. It's a football play. It's modern. It's only 20 years old. And it's only been able to be done recently because of a rule change 20 years ago, and the Eagles found a loophole and exploited it as they should. But none of those arguments seem to carry enough weight. Something like either throwing flags constantly on all these false starts to get that result in getting it out, or the NFL looking at saying, hey, this can't be officiated cleanly, creates an unfair advantage. We're going to have to step in here. I think that's where it ends.
Look, I think shut up and go Birds.
Shut up, nerds.
No, look, if you really want my opinion on it, if you want to get rid of it, get rid of it. And then we'll just figure something else. We've got a bunch of big-ass dudes, and we'll figure out something to do.
And maybe it is Jordan Mailata carrying the ball.
Well, who knows, right?
Who wants to tackle him?
Yeah, even we spoke about Jalen Hurts can bench, squat over 600 pounds.
Yeah.
I think, the rule change, if you want to change the rule back, I can get that. I don't lean into the injury stuff because there's no proof of that, and it's on our players, not the other players. Kind of, that's what they've said. It's the offside thing, and it is like you're offside, and if they say they can't, officiate that and get it right, then all right, just get rid of it, and then everyone can shut up and go Birds.
And look, at the end of the day, you guys, you still got the quarterback that squats that much, and you still got the offensive line that looks like it does.
Have you seen Jordan Mailata? Yes, you've interviewed him many times.
Large
snake.
Specimen. Sneaky snake indeed. Yes, so that's where we're coming down on that. I know it's going to be absolutely blown up on every studio show.
Jordan Mailata running back in answer to your question, Robert Smith, and hello, Dallas.
I think in any...
Hey, Dallas, go Birds.
Oh, all right. That has been the Macca's Hot Mic, and now we move on to... We've got history, brought to you by our friends at Statmate. I got 3 for you here. We're going to play this, 2 truths and a... kind of like 2 truths and something we don't believe. I'm going to throw those out. You're going to tell me where you're hitching your wagon and where perhaps you're steering away from. James Cook.
I'm going to paint my wagon.
James.
I'm going to paint it good.
James Cook, averaging just shy of 95 yards rushing across the first 3 games. Up next, those lowly Saints who've given up 146, 77, 87 rushing yards on the ground. Can Cook get a hold of that Saints defense? Can Cook get a hold of the Saints defense, continue the stellar start? Puka Nacua. They say his hands need ice after playing at SoFi Stadium. The star wide receiver has 8 receptions or more in 5 straight home games. He had 15 targets this week. Like I said, I think he should have 25. And they play the Colts next week.
Colts.
The Colts. Yeah. Rams play the Colts. And finally, Daniel Jones. We've talked about him a bit. Indiana Jones thrown for 272 yards, 316 yards, 228 yards in 3 weeks. He's cleared that 225 passing yard mark in 4 of his last five games. When on the road, does the hot start continue for someone we spoke glowingly of against that Rams defense and that Rams defensive front that you'd be a little familiar with after their contest this week?
You know what's it's interesting, right? This is the first time we've done this, and I'm like, I can kind of see these things all happening. Yeah. I think James Cook's be cooking. I think Puka is Puka, and he's just like, he's a dog. And Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, they're keeping it simple for him. So we have to find one.
You have to find one.
This one's hard. Have you leaning towards one?
I do have one. Yeah. Do you want me
to? To me, yeah.
Let me tee you up. Yeah. I'm gonna unhitch the painted wagon from Daniel Jones for the week, just because I think that Rams defensive front certainly outweighs what they've got on the secondary. That front is hellacious. They are so talented across every single spot. They're deep. And I think that particular unit is the type of harassing pressure that can unhinge Daniel Jones from this state of calmed, Steichen-led bliss that he's in right now. So I just think they have the pass rush talent to disrupt what's been very rhythmic and what's been very on schedule and force him into different situations. And I think the offense is talented enough for the Rams to put the Colts behind on the scoreboard, which means that you cannot run play action every single snap, just a lot of them.
Yeah, look, no, I believe you. If I had to, I'm more on James Cook and Puka. I started the podcast by saying Daniel Jones, the MVP candidate. It was a joke, but now I'm completely off him.
Yeah, also, producer Krugs, just a note that at this point of the podcast, Jimmy uttered the phrase, I'm moron. So we just need to just hold that for perhaps different points of the season.
All right, we're at an hour. But I'm going to punch through my blitz.
Ooh.
I mean, that's blitz by name, blitz by nature.
Sure.
This is where I blitz Laurie with 10 questions.
8 for 10 last week, I think it was, on review. You said you gave me 9 on the spot, but then they went to the VAR.
And they said...
replay assist.
Replay assist,
sorry,
8
for 10.
All right, it's your birthday. I might give you some help here, or I probably won't.
No, don't do that.
Wait, is it? Dallas, go Birds. All right, question number 1. Who threw for the most yards in week 3? Was it Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield, or Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, that's really good.
And I'm going to tell you, they're all these quarterbacks threw between 220 yards and 240 yards.
Yeah.
So they are all very close.
Yeah.
Who just had a smidge more?
Oh, give me Baker.
It is Baker Mayfield with 233 yards.
Bang.
Well done.
Just that last drive, there were a couple of connects to Emeka Ibuka.
Just to put him off. All right, who rushed for the most yards in week 3? Was it J.K. Dobbins? Was it Bucky Irvin? Was it Jonathan Taylor? Or was it Quishon Judkins?
Judkins had just shy of 100. I think it was like 10 for 94 or something like that.
Yeah, he had 94 yards.
Yeah. Not 10 for 10 is too much. That's crazy. That's 9.4 yards a carry. I just really want to say Jonathan Taylor.
It's Jonathan Taylor.
Yes, good.
102 yards.
Oh, nice.
2 for 2. What team is undefeated after week 3?
Sure.
Is it the Colts, the Buccaneers, the Chargers, or the Birds?
All of the above.
Correct. This is a trick question. They are all undefeated. Who had the most fantasy points this week?
Ooh.
Was it Jonathan Taylor?
Uh-huh.
Was it Jordan Mason?
Ooh.
Was it Trey Tucker or Hunter Henry?
Give me Trey Tucker. He had 3 touchdowns, I think.
Yeah, he did. 40.9 points.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever got 40 points before, and he may never get 40 again. Question 5. Who had the least fantasy points this week? Was it Brock Bowers, my boy, Saquon Barkley, Michael Penix Jr., who both Laurie and I started in some fantasy, or was it Ashton Genty?
Who was my first option again?
You had Brock Bowers, Saquon, Penix, and Genty. 2 Raiders in there, 2 disappointing Raiders, because all these scores suck, by the way.
I think it was
all these scores are under 10 points.
Bowers didn't have much. Give me Bowers.
Are you locking that in?
Yes.
No, it's not Bowers. It was Penix.
It was
3.78.
Oh, that's tough. What did Bowers have?
9.8.
Oh,
yeah.
Some junk yardage there that I did not capitalize on.
Yeah, right at the end there.
Let's move on.
Question number 6. Who is currently leading the league in receiving yards? Is it Jamar Chase, Ricky Pearsall, Puka Nacua, or Jackson Smith Nabigja? That's what we say, JSN.
JSN.
Yeah.
Was it Jackson Smith and Jigba? I'm going to say no to Jamar Chase because today was pretty light. Puka's been really consistent. Who are my other two?
You've got Ricky
Yeah.
and JSN. Pearsall and JSN.
Oh, give me Puka.
It is Puka with 333 yards. All right, question 7. Who has the most sacks this season? Is it Myles Garrett? Is it Byron Young? Is it Rashawn Gary? Or is it Harold Landry III?
Oh, Byron Young. Who was it? Rashawn Gary.
Yeah. Myles Garrett. And Harold Landry III.
Oh, I'm gonna fire right down the middle of the fairway here and give me Myles Garrett.
No, it's Rashawn Gary, 4.5 sacks.
He had 2 today too.
Yeah. Myles has 4 though, so just behind. All right, question 8. What NFL team has the most NFL championships? Just want to answer off the gate. We've got Bears, Giants, Packers, or Chiefs.
Bears, Giants,
Packers or Chiefs.
NFL championships.
And we're talking old school too. Before it was NFL.
If you're giving me old school, give me the Packers.
Yeah, it's a Packers. 13 when you just had to finish near the top. All right, another one of conversions. I did mention this earlier in the podcast. Little what are they? Hidden Mickeys, I think they call them in Disney. 1 mile equals how many kilometers?
1 mile.
Is it 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, or 1.7?
1.6.
1.6, correct, sir. And the last one. This is a bit of trivia. The Greek god Apollo is the god of what? Is he the god of war, god of the sea, god of the sun, or god of fire? Jimmy's Blitz. Blitz.
He's Greek god, right?
Yeah, he's Greek
God.
god.
I don't think he's a Greek god of war. I think the Greek god of war might be Hades.
That is correct, yes.
Yep.
It's not the
Greek god of the sea is Poseidon.
Correct.
What do you give me? Fire?
You've got sun or fire left.
Apollo.
Both very close.
I feel like sun because of the space stuff.
It is.
Nailed it.
Apollo is the god of the sun. Well done, Laurie. I didn't keep track. Was it 8 out of 10 again?
I think it was 8 out of 10 again. I think I'm in Aries. I'm sure my science teachers and my parents that paid for private school education will be happy that my answer was because of the sun stuff.
Because of the moon and the skies
it's
and
up
things.
there. It's up there.
Well done.
Thank God my wife did science. Charlie's got a chance. Little Charlie's got a chance.
Yeah, Charlie, well, not if he's a Cowboys fan.
True. He is.
All right, that's it.
That is it. Oh, okay. 8
Now
out of 10.
5.
Well, at least
8 out of 10, yeah.
At least someone I get around had a winning record today.
Yeah, you did.
Apparently myself. Look, week 3 done. I feel like we're learning a little bit about who some of these teams are. We're learning a lot about each other.
We are.
And we're learning a lot about you out there. Thank you very much for your submissions today. Remember, the Macca's hot mic does not close. It is open for your DMs.
The hot mail is also open.
The hot mail is apparently also open. We'll send you our MSN Messenger details, but the hot mic is firing all the time. So if you, at any point in this season, in the week, in the game week,
doesn't have to be before. Can be any point.
Any point. Maybe you've got a conspiracy theory you're on board with in the NFL, preferably football related. Whatever it is, fire it through, send it through. The DMs are open, shamelessly, I should say. And look, we want to hear from you, but look, we're having a lot of fun.
If you don't send the hot mics in, we're going to start doing Krug's ideas.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Nobody wants that.
Absolutely. Tell me, which full forward would most... This has been NFL Afters, brought to you by PointsBet for week number 3. We will see you. Woo! Same time, same channel next week.
The Bears.
And next week, we bring back the Packers.
Why are your hands so clammy?